Hello, this is Pat Walker with Mission Winners. I want to go over stocks you should have on your watch list this week. So we're looking at advanced micro devices. Lifted off here, lifted off on good volume right in here, all right? Has a composite rating of 92, which is good. And again, that was good volume. Here's what we'd like to see, and this is important for you too. Shrink the chart a little bit so you can see the left-hand side of it. It lifted off on heavy volume. Give this a couple of more days, and this may be a candidate to lift off. And again, it lifted off on heavy volume. This is a quiet inside bar on much less volume. You see this? That's constructive. Not a lot of selling there. Perhaps this will lift through here. We're in this already, and we'll be looking to buy more. Go sideways and then take out the highs of that bar. Could be a potential candidate. Let's continue onwards. Here's Amazon right here. Amazon, you can see this base that's forming here. And it's a max list stocks, folks. Let's just cut to the chase. That says it all. Relative strength 94 near new high ground. You can see these tops across here. I already have price alerts set. The best thing this could do is to base a couple more days. Form a little base through here, and I'll draw it for you just to help you. We're going to leave it just like this. And what we'd like to see. Base here a couple more days and take this out with really heavy volume in a good market. That could be a candidate. There you go. Here's another one for you. TNK. We own TNK down here. Okay? And we've added to it a couple of times. We've locked some profits in too. It's basing right here. You see the clean and simple flat base? You see this clean and simple flat base? Everybody sees it. Why? You can say, Pat, how can you say that? Because it's easy to see. It's not like, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't see anything there. It's just a simple flat base. It's doing it again. Perhaps it'll go sideways a couple more days. Take out these tops. That could be a candidate. There we go. This, again, that's how we build the case. That is, by the way, you can say, what stock is that? That's TK Tankers. A+ group, composite rating 98. There you go. A- accumulation distribution. Relative strength 94. That's building a case. Let's continue on here with Dash. DoorDash. Here we go. Own it here. Lift it off. It's going sideways. You see this little shelf that it's forming here? It's being held back a little bit by the market. Give this a day or two longer. Starts to take out that white line. That could be a buy. That could be a buy. Now, that's a shorter base. So I'm going to share this with you. And these are the things I taught at the IBD meetups for years, but also at Mission Winners. Longer base breakouts, you buy more. Shorter bases are less reliable. So how do you control risk? Buy less shares. That will help you. Let's continue onwards here. There's a firm. And you can see this is lifted off and it's forming a small shelf right here. Okay? Basing nicely. And just to give you the lowdown on this, I'll just tell you this. B+ accumulation distribution. Okay? And I like that. Composite rating 71. See, now you can say, oh, that makes it more it makes it riskier. And I'm pointing this out not to confuse you, but just say, here it is. It's a good base, but given the lower composite rating and a B+ accumulation distribution rating and a group rank of 184, it's less reliable. So how do you control risk? And I'm putting this on here as for a lesson for everybody. If you decide to buy this, buy less shares. Good investing is not one size fits all. That will really help you. You buy more on clean and simple base breakouts that just look awesome, kind of like this right here. I mean, that's sweet potato pie, folks. Everybody saw this, and there it is. If you make your mind up to do things like this, life gets better. So here's this one, and again, pointing it out, just a couple of negatives with it. Not as strong as others. So now let's take a look at Net Cloudflare. It's formed a great big cup. You see this lower level base, by the way, right here? Look at the volume on this. I want to share this with you. This is important. It's what we teach. Say, oh, it's just pretty much clean and simple tops right here. It's nothing too fancy. I guess if it takes out that white line on volume, that'd be pretty good. Probably be worth buying through that white line. Look at what it does. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. On this volume bar, the stock did volume of I'm going to round here, 3.3 million shares. On this bar, 8.2 million shares, more than double. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They voted, and that's why we were buying it a couple of times, and it's working great. So what do we do with it now? Well, here it is now, and look what it's done. It's rallying right up here, and it's forming a little handle. Great big cup with a handle. Give this a couple of more days, and I'm going to look at this real quick and just share something else with you that I think you'll like. B plus accumulation distribution, composite rating 98, relative strength 93 near new highs for the move. That's building a case. And it's nothing fancy. There we go. Let's continue onward. Tesla. I think you know what Tesla is. The car company. Here we go. Downward sloping trend line. Now here's what I like. This is a maxlist stock, folks. I love maxlist stocks. I love them. Clean and simple base right here. Downward sloping trend line. Perhaps if it lifts through this line with really heavy volume. By the way, you see I have the price alert already set. Now I'll drop it just a little bit here. This is a great lesson for all of you. Don't set your price alert at the pivot. Set it early. That way, if it triggers, you can look at it and say, oh man, this thing's approaching the pivot and there's some volume coming into it. Boy, I got to watch this. Or flip the coin. Oh, it's approaching the pivot. There's no volume. There's nobody buying that sucker. Well, guess what? I'm not going to either. There you go. That's a great lesson. At Mission Winners, we teach this. And you know what's great? It's simple and it's conceptually correct and it's living off your stocks. For years, I lived completely off the profits of our accounts. Okay? That's it. I had no wealthy relatives. I had no managed accounts. Nothing. It was just sheer profit supporting a family of 6. And I'm not bragging. I'm grateful. It was a lot of work, but these were the tactics that I used. Okay, let's do one more. What do you say here? 5 stocks. Look, it must be inflation because we've got more than 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 or 8. There we go. So now here's Google going sideways. Oh yes, by the way, it's a maxlist stock. It's a V-shaped cup right here. Here's what we'd like to see. And I've already drawn it for the VIPs. Forming a handle right here. Okay? Perhaps it'll form a handle for a couple more days, and then it takes off, and it takes off with good volume. That could be a potential buy, and that's what we'll be looking for. In all instances, though, always remember this. We want to see good price action. We want to see good volume action, see it pushing through, and we also want to see a good market. Now, here's the risk with this. See this big gap down on heavy volume? That's serious institutional selling. Look at the selling on this bar and the selling on this bar. This stock, it is a maxlist stock, but it has an accumulation distribution of D+. So there's not a lot of buying going on there. And that tells us to be careful. And that really helps us. Key point here, always focus, strive to focus on clean and simple bases like this. Okay? Life is easier like this. These are all keyless stocks. And I'm not bragging, I'm just trying to teach you. Honest to goodness, I say this from my heart. These are things I wish somebody would have said to me years ago.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.